table over, but I would glance over every now and then, and I would see she actually had to have Kleenex, a box of Kleenex there, because one after the other people were going, and when I went and sat and got my reading from her, I mean, it was like, whoa, she just zoomed right in on things that she did not even know about me. She's like, who is this person? I'm like, well, okay. She starts describing, but yeah, all day long I would hear like the sound of tissues being pulled out, or I'd see her reaching for the tissue box again. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I mean, she has to buy like at least some at Costco because she makes people cry like that. She really gets in there and digs. So you got to get your tickets for that because it's going to be a whole lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be doing the cemetery symbolism presentation to where the question, man, I bet you know that anybody out there that comes to this event, if you got a question that she doesn't cover in her presentation, I'm sure she'll figure it out. Because
and if I don't know it, I will like doggedly research it. I enjoy. Yeah, it's my idea of fun, and I try not to talk too fast in my presentation, but I also want to pack it full of information so people will leave knowing more, so that the next time they go to a historic cemetery, they'll get more out of it. They'll be telling their friends, hey, this and that. And I try to put in some, this is a surprise, kind of things for people. They can whip out the odd fact to tell their friends. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, and not only are you going to be at that cool event, and there's a Facebook page for this event, too. It's Hill House Manor Paranormal Conference and Investigation. So check it out. There's a link for the tickets there. There flyers will also be all over Tui and I's pages, my team pages, the show page, her blog.
Trust
me.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna know all about this event. You cannot miss it. It's August 28th, 29th, and then there's going to be another one that we're going to be at together, and that's going to be in a really cool town called Marlin, Texas. It's close to Waco, and it's got some really crazy ties to this town.
I was already doing some research about Marlin. So when I found out, I was like, because there's a really weird story that I've been looking into, and I'm like, oh wow, I get to go there now, yeah.
And the locations that you get to actually investigate with a VIP ticket, which we only have 20 of those available. This is Two Feathers Paranormal, FEAR Paranormal, and PSI of the South.
All right.
We're putting it on, and it's got, I'm going to be speaking, Jeremy Jones from Paranologies will be there. We have a new psychic named Jackie Bowling. She's not new, but she is new to this event. Olive Hallmark Bennett will be there. She is an author.
I just spent the weekend with her. She is so nice, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, that's cool. And then we have, I know it kind of freaks Marlon out a little bit, but we have some vampires going to be there. And since it's Halloween, we're gonna have a meeting tomorrow. But there's a lot of cool stuff that we have planned for this event, and the VIP tickets are only $60 for the whole weekend.
Heck of a deal.
And when you get the Friday night investigation that the other people don't get on Saturday, you get a location on Friday night, maybe even two, that the other people don't get on Saturday night. So there's only 20 VIPs, so I'm telling you, it's a meet and greet, there's investigations, plus bonus things, plus all the lectures. I mean, it's going to be really cool. And we're gonna have a lot of extra stuff there, but Marlin itself, and I know during your research you might have come across this sick man that was a serial killer named Kenneth McDuff.
No, I haven't. Okay, I'm writing that down.
Write it down, girl, because this man grew up in Rosebud, which is right next to Marlin, and he dumped some of his bodies around the area. It's very interesting, but he is from that area, so there's ties to that as well. That's very interesting too. But the thing about Marlin is the reason we're doing this whole thing, and it's going to be sponsored by Syntex Ridge Systems, and it's called Syntex Paranormal Fest. There is also a Facebook page for that, and they need to get tickets for that, don't they?
Yes, they do. Syntex with a C.
Yep, with a CENTEX. Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And it's so funny because at History Haunts and Legends, we ran into a paranormal group named Syntex Paranormal. And I went, are you kidding me? I think they're going to be there as a vendor. But we have so many cool things going on. People are really freaked out about vampirism and stuff like that. But since Alyssa and Joey are really good friends of mine, more so Alyssa, we're very close, I've learned a lot as well. And I want everyone else to be educated so that they don't freak out and think that, what you see on Twilight or what you see on whatever is how it is, because that's not how thieves go and do.
Well, it's just like, what people think Texans are from a distance. It's just like any group. Everyone makes their assumptions about whatever group, and they don't realize, you got to get to know a few. Like, get to know a few vampires before you act like you know them.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I didn't even know it really existed. My mother must have really sheltered me my whole life, because after she's passed, I've learned so much that actually exists in this world that I had no idea did. Things that I could probably live my whole life not knowing actually existed. But something like this, it's cool being educated by it, and then you're going to be, presenting all kinds of cool stuff and helping people out with little quirky places in Texas. And the cemetery symbolism is very, very intriguing to me. So when do we get this guide that you're working on? I mean, how will we know when it's going to come out,
Well, if people want to know, I will be posting once a week on my website, which is just tuisnider.com. I'm putting a blog post up of just a little tidbit of things I learned. Like, I think I did roses this week, and, just so you can follow along and catch it that way. I don't actually have an exact date, because I want to make sure it's one of those subjects where every time I think, oh, yeah, I think I've got it all, I'll discover some new symbol. So I want to really make sure, I've thoroughly covered the ground. But people can also join my newsletter there, because I do, when I have a book coming out, I give away some for free before it comes out, and even sometimes after. And just once again, just go to tuisnider.com if that topic fascinates you as much as it does me, because I'll be posting about it there and keeping people up to date.
Well, I can't wait to find out what you actually learn as far as researching this cool town of Marlin, because there's really some really sweet spots that we're trying to put this thing on to help raise money for the town so that they can save these historical buildings, because I know we talked earlier about how it breaks our heart, buildings, and they sit for years and deteriorate, kind of like the Baker Hotel, which, God, I hope they get to restoring that. I can't wait for that. But
me too.
It breaks your heart to see them tear it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's a big reason I write about this stuff. Like over in Glen Rose, they've got all these petrified buildings. I want them to stay. I want people to go in the town to realize how important they are. And, if you just hop on the highways, you miss a lot of the cool stuff. But if my travel guides, I try to get people off the main road and looking at these little towns that get overlooked. And, I hate to see these treasures, these historic, really unique places with so much interesting history get turned into just a strip mall, when they could maybe be, rehabilitated, what's the word, renovated.
Renovated, yes, and rehab. Some of them do need some real major rehabilitation to them, because, there's asbestos that was in some of this time periods, and a lot of this really, paint peeling and lead and stuff in the paint. And, yes, it would have to be all redone, but, God, how much historical,
it's worth it.
Stuff that would save and restore and keep, because that stuff that they built 100 years ago stands still for a reason. It's still standing for a reason, because it was built right, even though they might have used lead or they might have used whatever. The building itself is still standing for a reason.
They built it with that in mind. There's a real sense of craftsmanship, and it was built to last. It wasn't just built to get them through to the next paycheck. And so it's a real. They were making these as gifts to us here in the future. We should be happy with that and take care of them.
Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, I mean, it's very important to restore as much history and keep as much history that we can, because it kills me when I go and I see all these trees. I'm a big tree hugger. From the Northwest, you should know what that is all about. I mean, I'm not from there, but I totally understand what a tree hugger goes through. And when they demolish all these trees, and then they make all these houses, and then they just plant these little trees that have to have hundreds of years to grow as big and beautiful as the ones they just tore down. And it's oxygen and, you know, I mean, you know, things like that are important.
Those big trees, they are like a little city. They provide so much shelter and so much opportunity for so many other creatures that, it does break your heart when you see those big rainforest trees or any. Just around here, some of the oaks, or a friend of mine posted on Facebook because of the floods, a big hackberry just fell down in his backyard, and it's like, oh, you know, you get to know these certain trees around you.
I know, you're going, you old guy, you were there as long as I can remember, man, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tornadoes doing damage around here, but, you know, I can't wait to actually hear your presentation on the cemetery symbolisms, because I've always had questions about, like, what was that and what was that. So you're going to help me out a lot just by doing that. And I really appreciate you being on my show, but I'm going to do some announcements, so if you'll just hang tight.
Sure.
And kind of help with those. First off, I didn't know if I asked you, are you going to the Supernatural Expo July 18th?
Sadly, I can't. I'm going to be out of town, but I'm going to be promoting it on my blog. I know it's a bummer, but hey, I'm real excited about it. It looks like a great lineup, and I wish I could be there, but I'll just do what I can to pass it along to other people, and you'll have to tell me how it is.
Well, 24 Hour Paranormal is putting on this thing called the Supernatural Expo. It's going to be held July 18th. They do have all the information on their page about it, and tickets and all that are really, really inexpensive. They have vendor tables. They have some pretty cool speakers, and it's going to be held in Lewisville, Texas. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is the one at Hill House Manor, which is in Gainesville, Texas. Huey and I both will be there, along with other cool guests, and a free gallery reading from Teal Gray through I think she's maybe doing it even twice. So get your tickets, VIP, all of that. Get your tickets now for that. And it's on Hill House Manor, Conference and Investigation, and it's going to be August 28th and 29th. Then in September, September I've got Gulf Coast Paracon in Biloxi, Mississippi. Paula Westbrook and them are putting that on, and it's going to be so cool at the, I think you say it, Beauvoir.
Beauvoir.
Some kind of plantation, Beauvoir, yeah. Excuse me, I'm not French.
It's got some cool history.
Yeah, well, it's got some activity too. So I'm going to join Paula and and Randy and Kevin and a bunch of others and Jeremy for the Gulf Coast Paracon, and I'm extremely excited about that one, September 25th through the 27th. And then in September, October we have our conference, which is October 23rd through the 24th in Marlin, Texas. It's called Syntex Paranormal Fest.
Yeah.
Look it up on Facebook, like the page. There's a link for the tickets there as well. And then let me see, in November they just changed the date. I really don't know who all's going to be on the lineup. I know I might be there, but we're going to Tombstone, and we're doing Tombstone right, November 6th and 7th. Yes, sir. And the lineup, once it's announced, I can't really say anything right now, but it's a huge name that's going to be at Tombstone. And
that's exciting.
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, my birthday's in December, so this is going to count for my birthday and Christmas and everything, because I'm going to do it up right in Tombstone since I got kind of jacked around the last go-around when we were in Tombstone. We're going to go ahead and forget that nightmare existed, because my sponsor, who I want to thank real quick, ASAP Entertainment LLC, is going to be putting these events, most of these events on, except for the Syntex Paranormal Fest. and Supernatural Expo. But they are putting on Tombstone event, and they will be making announcements. Please check out ASAP Entertainment LLC's page. They also have a website. They will be announcing